Hey guys, thanks. Welcome back to my video. I'm Megan. I'm the faithful fibromyalgia warrior, and I'm so glad you guys decided to come back to this channel. Or if it's your first time visiting, I'm glad you found the channel. So, just to let you guys know, I have fibromyalgia. It's my main medical concern. I have lots of other ones as well. I have Raynaud's syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, irritable bladder. I have, let me think here, chronic lower back pain because of a slip disc from 7 years ago. I also deal with arthritis. I also deal with whiplash from a car injury 3 years ago, along with an underactive thyroid. I also am in recovery from bulimia, and I also live with anxiety and depression. Whew, which is a whole lot, but fibromyalgia is the biggest of everything. So, for those of you who do not know, fibromyalgia comes from the Greek, and it refers to all over pain through the soft tissues, which is basically what fibromyalgia is. Tends to be mostly women who get it. Tends to be women who are hit their 40s. You have a higher risk of getting it if you were ever a smoker, if you've ever suffered falls like lower back injuries, and I fractured my tailbone, I don't know, 12 years ago, 13 years ago. So repeated falls can sometimes trigger this. Basically, all it means is, for whatever reason, your brain is telling parts of your body that it's in pain, even if there is no current or new injury. Why, they don't know. Men can get it. It tends to be women. Also, if women who have had children, because our hips widen for childbirth, so we stand differently. How we sit, how we stand is different. So, anyways, that's all they could tell me and to be diagnosed is a process of elimination. So, if you're in the process of determining if it's fibromyalgia or not, be prepared for going through multiple visits to the rheumatologist, multiple blood tests, testing for all kinds of different things to eliminate it. So, why am I talking about that? Because this day and age, more people are starting to be aware of what it is, and I think we, as people who have it, are trying to make it something that people know more about, which is a good thing. And some days we can have really good days, and some days we have really bad days where the pain is really bad. And like I said, I have all these other things that I also deal with, and I'm sure that you guys who have fibromyalgia or know somebody who have fibromyalgia are aware that they don't just have fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia and Raynaud's is also a symptom of an underactive thyroid, which I have. You know, I was reading something today from one of my favorite Christian authors, and it struck me because it was something I have always thought, and it was so good just to see it in print, and that revolves around getting help for mental health, especially right now. You know, it is just a known thing that the Christmas season is when lots of people really struggle with things like anxiety and depression, whether it's how are we going to get all the best presents for all the people we know, or I have no one to be with, I'm alone, I'm lonely. And so this is a really tough time of year. For me, I love the holiday season. It is a time where I feel hopeful and a bit more joy and a little more giving and patient with people. And obviously, of course, yes, we should be doing that, especially if we profess to be Christians, which I do. But, you know, a lot of people are just a little bit nicer, even if they don't have that faith. And it's good to see. It'd be great if people were like that all the time, but I guess it's better than not at all. And, you know, the thing I read today, I just want to read it out quickly. It's from Kimberly Ray Jordan's newest book, Always by My Side. And the main character, Josie, is speaking to someone she's looking after. She's a nurse, okay? And she says this: I'm a big believer in taking care of our mental health. I see a counselor once a month. Hawk's brows rose at that. You do? And she responds, yep, I have a history of mental illness in my family, and though I haven't been diagnosed with it myself, I've come to appreciate the time I spend with my counselor. I'm a Christian, so I believe that God is the ultimate counselor. Sometimes, however, having a professional help me work through things is beneficial. I approach my mental health the same way I do my physical health. I believe God is a healer, but we also have doctors to help us out, and the same is true about our mental health. And to me, that was the most incredible thing, because I've known people who were Christians who absolutely refused to go and seek out any sort of help. They firmly believed that all they needed was prayer. Now, for some people, maybe if they have, say, what would be considered mild depression or seasonal blues, that might have been enough. And if that's the case, then I'm happy for them. Truly I am, because they're lucky. If that's all they need to do is just take some time and maybe open the curtains, let in the daylight, pray some more, that's fantastic. And I say that with all sincerity. The thing is that most of us, that isn't enough. It's important. Don't get me wrong. It's important. But there's a reason why God has made people intelligent enough to become psychiatrists and psychologists. There is a reason why God has made people who have invented the antidepressants and the anti-anxiety medications, because they can help. I am not ashamed to say I have anxiety and depression, and I take antidepressants. Well, sertraline is what they call an SSRI, serotonin something reuptake inhibitor. I can't remember what it stands for. It basically, what it does is it means that my brain does not make enough of the serotonin required to help me feel calm and at peace. So what this medication does is it ups the levels of serotonin, it increases the production, and that also helps with my anxiety. And what it also does is it helps reduce some of the pain signals my brain sends out. So my fibromyalgia pain isn't as bad. I also take gabapentin, which is also used as a nerve blocker, and it helps reduce some of the signals that get sent by my brain so that my pain is reduced. It's not gone completely, and it never will be. It's a chronic thing. It will always be there, but it's manageable. And so I firmly believe that if there is a medication that can potentially help someone who deals with medical conditions like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, ADHD or ADD, and I don't know, there's probably a whole other range of them that I don't even know the names of. It helps with things like preventing seizures if you have epilepsy. These are helpful. There is nothing wrong with taking these. Some believe, well, it's a sin to do that. No, it's ridiculous. It's not. For me, I take my medications every day without fail because I know they help. However, I also have a relationship with God, and I pray, and I read my Bible, and I find inspiration and joy through that. Combined with the medication makes a huge difference. Now, you'll see that I've spoken a lot in other videos about being ketogenic or following the ketogenic protocol, which, just for those of you who don't know, was originally designed to help people with epilepsy, to reduce their seizures, okay, to cut out the crap in their diet so that the healthy fats would feed the brain and therefore help prevent seizures. That's where it was developed. It is a low to zero carb diet with moderate protein and higher fat by comparison. Okay, I don't add extra fat. That means I eat ground beef that's fatty. I eat streaky bacon. I eat sausages, chicken with the skin on if it's nice and crispy, or a turkey drumstick at Christmas, that kind of thing. Egg yolks. That's what I eat, because everything else I know, for me, I can't tolerate it. So when I found the ketogenic protocol, I honestly did not think I would lose any weight. I was almost 60 pounds over what would be an ideal weight for my age, my height, my energy levels, and my physical fitness, which with fibro and not being able to go to the gym and do all that, was limited. My ideal weight was somewhere between 120 and 130 pounds. And I was almost at 160. No, sorry, 180 pounds. What am I saying? So I didn't expect that it would work. And yet it did. I was trying to find ways to lose weight. Couldn't do paleo because all of the seeds and nuts and leafy greens were just wreaking havoc on my guts. So I needed to find something else. And I truly believe God's Spirit guided me to find the ketogenic diet. And I started following all kinds of people on it. I found a few people that were talked about how to eat and reduce things like starchy vegetables or fruits if you can't tolerate them. And eventually I found Casey Durango and Go Keto with Casey. She's on YouTube. She's got a blog. She's awesome. She's so cool. She's from North Carolina. And normally Canadians and Americans are not known for necessarily liking each other. But honestly, guys, check her out. She's so cool. And how she explains it is so basic and straightforward. You know what you do? You eat fatty sources of protein, which means, like I just said, you eat the fat that comes with the protein. Chicken with the skin on, which is the best part. Sausages, streaky bacon, egg yolks, whites if you can handle them. Ground beef with fat, fatty cuts of lamb or pork, whatever. You don't have to add extra fat. You just eat the fat that comes with the protein. Cut out all the carbs and the starches and the sugars. And it's that simple. Don't have more than 20 grams of total carbs per day. Because the more you cut down on the carbs, the more your body will start to eat the meat or the protein and the fat you give it. And then it will start to actually burn off the fat in the body, which is what it would prefer to do because you go for longer without being hungry. It's a whole great thing. Check out her videos. Like I said, she is totally awesome. She reminds me of a combination of my mom and my mother-in-law, two very cool ladies. So, yeah, anyway, she's awesome. So I found her. And I know for a fact God led me to finding her eventually. But I found the ketogenic protocol before I discovered her on YouTube. And like I said, I did not expect to lose a whole lot of weight. I really didn't. I hoped, but I figured it was just wishful thinking. But you know what? As the weight started to come off, as the pain started to ease, as the brain fog started to lift, and the depression started to wane, and my anxiety levels started to come down, all of a sudden, I realized, wow, I need God again. And so God did guide me to the ketogenic diet, and following that is what helped lead me back to my relationship with God. And it's amazing, For those of you who maybe don't have that kind of faith, or perhaps you have a faith in something else, even if you are, taking time to just simply meditate on the nature around you and the world around you, do that. It's amazing how much it helps. My point is, though, is that it's okay to get extra help. I've had cognitive behavioral therapy. My anxiety and stress levels were so bad at one point that nothing the doctors were prescribing was having any impact anymore. But I was already at maximum levels of prescription. I couldn't be given anything else. And once I started learning how to see what was causing stress, how to verbalize it, how to approach it, wow, all of a sudden I had a game plan. It was fantastic. So, I will always have fibromyalgia. I will always have arthritis and Raynaud's and an underactive thyroid, although I take medication for that. My triglycerides are like super low now. My HDL levels, high. My LDL levels, low once again. My liver is not spewing forth crap into my body. My kidney and liver function is exactly where it's supposed to be, which for a time, it was dangerously overloaded. My adrenals had been fatigued. Now, they are functioning once again. That doesn't mean I don't get stress in my life. I have 2 adult sons, and we're still living in COVID, and they're trying to get work and trying to get on with their lives, and there's restrictions here and there, and, so there's stuff going on. There is stuff going on. But I made this to say, honestly and truly, definitely, give the ketogenic diet a try. If you're at a point where I am, where I was in constant, chronic, acute pain, and it hurt to sit down, and it hurt to lay down, and it hurt to stand up, and it hurt to move. Sometimes it felt like it hurt to breathe, and there was no relief in sight. Until I got rid of the inflammation, until I took the food out that was causing me so many issues. And that is a thing, Does it mean my pain is gone completely? No, but it means the medication I'm taking is a lot more effective. My depression levels are basically non-existent because the antidepressant is doing its job. And I have a relationship with God, so I'm putting things before Him. I'm praying to Him, which helps. And I have people in my life that I can talk to now, and that helps. And even though my anxiety is still there and it still rears its head, I feel as though, yes, I'm riding on the back of a Mustang horse, but at this time, it's got a bridle on and it's got reins, and at least I'm sitting on a seat, as opposed to before it felt like I was holding onto the back of a Mustang, bareback, as it tore off and headed for a canyon with me clinging on for dear life. That's what it felt like. That's how it felt. And it doesn't mean I don't get moments of anxiety. I do. But now I'm able to manage it and cope with it. So I hope this is helpful. I really, truly do. Please feel free to share this with anybody that you think it could benefit. I really hope it does. That is my passion. That is just to say, here's what I've lived with. Here's what I've been through. I hope this helps you. I hope this helps you if you live with chronic pain. Seriously, think about what things you eat. I know it'll be difficult to have to give up things like sugar and processed stuff because, goodness sakes, they make it so it tastes good. That's why we want to eat it. But if you do, your body will thank you for it. I promise. As hard as it could be, I really hope that you guys will pass this on, share it. Like I have a blog. I haven't written there in a little while, but you can find me at true-disciple.com or under the blog of the Faithful Fibromyalgia Warrior. So check it out, I hope. I also have a book that I've published on Kindle. I think it's great. I don't know. Maybe you guys, if you have time, who has time these days? If you have time, maybe you could give it a read. It's called Darby, A Tale of Faith and Healing. It's a Christian fiction. It's got a sweet romance, but it's more about how she discovers God and overcomes things in her life, like a severe eating disorder. So, I don't know. I have to share it. I'm not looking to make money from it. I think you get it free if you have Kindle Unlimited, but hope you'll check that out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for all your support with all the videos. I hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, I will be back soon with, I hope, some more content. I know there wasn't a whole lot of keto stuff in here, but I just felt like I had to share with you guys. And just remember that just because you might need medication or a therapist or some sort of help through a trauma does not mean that you are a bad Christian or that you have no faith. It just means you need extra help. And that's why God has put these things in our lives. Okay? Anyways, guys, thanks again. Please like the video. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and it would be great if you guys would subscribe. Okay? Join the group. The more the merrier. And I always love hearing your feedback. Let me know what you think, and I will hopefully have content for you guys very soon. Bye for now.